Happy birthday!
So, what did you see from last night's game that you liked, didn't like? I mean, what basically was the review like?
Not great, obviously. You know, some of it was OKC just shot the lights out. I mean, they had 19 threes. Isaiah Joe 7 for 7. Giddey 3 for 3. I mean, you know, some nights teams are going to shoot it, and you know, that's just the story. But for us, there's plenty that we have to get better with. Our pick and roll defense was not ideal. And then offensively, we could see some disjointed possessions where our spacing and cutting wasn't great. So we worked on all that stuff today and watched a lot of film and had a really productive day.
And we all know how important Steph is to your offense, but with his absence, are there adjustments that have to be made or can be made to sort of offset the fact that he's not there?
Yeah, I thought the biggest thing last night was, you know, when we had advantages, we didn't get off the ball enough. You know, we would draw two and then didn't kick the ball, didn't you know, pull behind the play and give our passer an outlet. There were just too many possessions where we weren't solid offensively and didn't recognize the advantage we had. It's obviously way harder to create an advantage without Steph, but we have to be able to do so, and those are the things we worked on today.
I saw Gary had a boot on his left foot last night. How is he doing?
So he'll be out tomorrow. He had an MRI last night, or maybe this morning. I'm not sure when. I think it was last night. But regardless, you know, he won't be out a long time. There wasn't major damage, but there were some things on the MRI, and that you know, things that he felt in terms of pain that to rule him out for tomorrow, and then probably kind of a day-to-day thing.
And then Steph is out tomorrow as well still, or how?
Not necessarily. Steph's
Okay.
questionable. Yeah, he practiced today, and he's doing better, but some of it will depend on how he responds to today's practice.
Curry, Steve, on Steph's absence and Klay's sort of, I guess, effort to try and sort of make up for some of what Steph would give you, how much of it, you mentioned last night that you guys need to do a better job of helping him create some space. How much of it is on the system, and how much of it is on Klay trying to just get himself some space?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to find our identity as a team. You know, what's our identity offensively? I mean, we've always had an identity here of pace and ball movement, and you know, right now we're 30th in the league in pace, so we're not playing fast, and the ball doesn't feel like it's moving really well. I think in some ways, you know, those two things go hand in hand. So we have to do a better job as a coaching staff of helping the players find, you know, this year's identity, what this team can do well, and how we can operate to create better shots and a more comfortable style for everyone.
Did you have a sense that early in the season when you guys were winning games that was happening and it's just kind of lost its way, or was it ever there?
You know, early in the season we had a couple of really high-scoring games. We had the game in OKC. I think we scored 130 or 41. We were doing a much better job of throwing the ball ahead in transition, playing faster. I think we did have a couple of slow games. You know that you always have to be careful about a small sample size. So whether we were winning or losing, you know, now that we've played 13 games, it's a big enough sample size to recognize patterns and what's happening. And I think one of the things that's happening is we're walking the ball up the floor. You know, sometimes even after a missed shot, we're sort of just jogging the ball up the floor. We've got to throw it ahead and create more advantages.
Steve, with Kuminga, the big preseason he had, you know, playing well last night without Steph and Draymond, do you see anything different in him when maybe he has more of a chance to play a central role, or a different mindset with him, or what have you kind of seen?
A difference in terms of what?
Just maybe his mindset or the way he attacks these games like he did in the preseason, or like without Steph and Draymond in the game. Have you noticed anything different?
Not really. I mean, I think, you know, every game is a little bit different, and JK's a young player, so he's going to be up and down a little bit. And the biggest thing with him is just to bring, you know, the focus and the energy the force when he's going downhill, either on the drive or on a cut, crashing the glass, it makes a huge impact. You feel his athleticism and his power, and we need that. And so the more active and the more mobile he is in the game, the better he plays, and then I play him more.
Steve, what have you thought about what Dario's brought that starting lineup, and just in general, is it kind of amazing to you that this guy was available on a minimum contract?
Yeah, we were shocked that we got him on the minimum. He's a really good player. He's so skilled. He handles it, he passes it, shoots threes. He recognizes what defenses are doing. He draws defenses in and then makes the perfect pass. He's been one of our best players and one of our most consistent players night in and night out. So, we've gone to him in the starting lineup to try to create a little more space. Obviously, the first unit from last year has struggled. Obviously, Draymond is out now too, but, without having the spacing and the flow with that first group that we've had the last couple of years, we've gone to Dario to try to create a little more space.
Steve, you mentioned last night that you guys lacked fight, energy, I think you said grit, defensively, and yet you guys had enough activity and energy to pull down 20 offensive boards. So defensively, is it more of a thing where you guys were just lacking connectivity, didn't know personnel, were just getting confused on coverages, or are you noticing an effort issue, an engagement issue?
No, it's not effort. I think it's interesting. You can lose confidence defensively just like you can lose confidence in your shot. And I thought we got a little demoralized last night. They made everything. So, even when our coverage was good, they were making everything. I think I told you before the game I'd be surprised if either team shot as well as last time, and I was obviously dead wrong about that. I mean, they lit it up, and I thought we just got a little demoralized, even on a couple plays where we defended well and they made a shot. And that's part of human nature and the nature of sports. Like, you're working so hard, things don't go your way, you let your guard down a little bit, and that's what I meant after the game by grit. I mean, we have to be able to play through and still maintain our intensity and our emotion and our confidence even when a team is making shots.
Regarding Klay, with all the noise around him, as he struggles and it's starting to grow, people are, he should be traded and this, that, and the other. Is there a concern that this can get into his head? And what would be, is there anything you guys can do off the court, off the floor, just sort of just like tell him to stay the course kind of thing?
Well, you guys know Klay has frequently started out seasons very cold for whatever reason. I think if you go back, and look at his career, more often than not, he has started off slowly. But I think what's happening this year, the losing, when you combine a losing streak with a cold streak, that's especially demoralizing, especially for a competitor like Klay. I mean, the guy, he lives and breathes for winning, and so this has been especially frustrating these last 5 games, losing and struggling to knock down shots, and obviously with Steph and Draymond out, we're not generating as many good looks for Klay either. So the biggest thing message-wise for him is just he's got this long track record. He's in good shape. We know what he's capable of. We have to find our identity as a team offensively, and that will in turn help Klay. But every season of his career where he's gotten off to a slow start, he's found it. And there's no doubt that he's going to find it again.
Obviously, with Steph potentially coming back tomorrow, that would change the rotation, everything like that. You've played Brandin almost exclusively at the 2 this season. Have you guys given any thought to playing him at the 1 with 3 wings and a big, or are you just more looking at him as an off-ball guy at this point?
No, he definitely can play the 1. Part of the way we play is we want to have multiple handlers on the floor. So whether he's at the 2 or the 1, it doesn't really make that much difference because he's perfectly capable of playing either spot. But like when I was playing him with Chris or with Corey last night, the idea is more, to have 2 different guys who can handle the ball and make plays and create for others. But the beauty of Brandin is he can play in any lineup at any spot.